Hi and welcome to the Geek and Hermit. This is our review of SSX, which is basically a snowboarding game which came out over a year ago now. I've chose to do a review on this now, firstly because it's a sports game, which you'll rarely ever see me playing or buying. It's purely because I find them very boring unless you've got an active interest in the sport, say like FIFA for instance. Unless you actually follow football, I think the game would just bore you to tears. But with this, I never really suffer with that, thankfully. I've never been snowboarding in my life, never been skiing in my life, and I don't think I've got any intention of doing so. But I can still find this game really good fun to play on. And secondly, because it is one of my favourite games of all time. And after the horror of playing Mindjack, I needed something to renew my faith in video games. So, basically, there are different types of runs you can do on the slopes. I mean, they're all completely insane. I think it's supposed to be based on realistic slopes, but obviously the pipes and everything are added for, well, tricks and whatnot. So there are trick runs, for instance, where the idea is basically get from the top to the bottom, chaining together as many tricks as possible and scoring as high as possible. I mean, this is one of the first runs I've done. I've not played it for a couple of months, go back to it now, and it looks kind of like I know what I'm doing, and it looks really complicated. But honestly, I was like a trained chimp at this moment in time, holding the joypad upside down. I had no idea what I was doing, I was just getting in the air, pressing buttons, and stuff was happening. But it's not to say the game is easy though, because it's not. To get anywhere near the high scores, you need to learn. Really learn the slopes, learn what to chain where, and not to duplicate tricks as well. This is actually one of the other types of runs you can do. It's a survival run, where the idea is to simply get from the top to the bottom without dying. And if you do make it, you'll just go straight back to the top again, and you'll do it over again until you eventually do die or give up. The top right, it'll actually show you all the friends on your list, and it'll compete it immediately with, well, their top scores. Like for instance, in this case, 6,200 at top is the highest one. I think it's about 4 straight runs without dying. I have to say the online component of this game they built really well, because most people on my friends list I don't know from Adam. There's literally, I've met them through this game purely to compete and mess about with. It's good fun really. I think if you haven't got anyone on your friends list, it really lacks something, because you've just got no one really to compete with. So I think EA have done a really good job of getting that working really. And people seem to be quite, well, rather than the Call of Duty sort, where their whole aim in life is to annoy you as much as possible, the people in this are actually really good people. I mean, some you can't beat at all. I've got a couple of people on here that just get some insane scores. They must just live on there. This is one of the race goes down the slope. It says you'd think it would be easier. You just think, oh yeah, just go on top to bottom, avoid as many trees as I can, win. It's not. The bar at the bottom is your trick meter, and that little bar that's now draining, you basically get like a little turbo boost, and you fill that bar by pulling off tricks, and you can obviously you use it when you're doing the boost, so it'll wear down. So the idea is you're supposed to pull as many tricks as you can on the way down the hill while racing to fill it, but not do it too much so it actually slows you down. So it's a really delicate balance, and to be honest I always find the races harder than in any other sort of slope to do. But some people are good at it. This is actually the menu or world map, so to speak. This is where you would change what destination you're going to be racing in, and each area will have so many slopes on each. And this is actually online at the moment, so you can see like certain areas, like there, say for instance 51 riders currently online there. They'll all be competing on different hills. And how it works is you'll have events, some will run for hours, some will work for days. You'll all compete, sometimes you'll pay an entry fee of 50,000 or something, and the top scoring few will basically get a share of the prize. And you earn money in this game by basically doing races either on single player or multiplayer. Well, races, trick races, anything really. And then you use this money to buy gear for your character, which are a choice of a few different ones really. I mean, it's not actually all just based off aesthetics, which you would have thought really, because each one does have little perks, like say for instance there, tricks plus 10. So it's basically choosing the type of character that picks you, suits you sort of thing, and then when you've chose that character you can then unlock different gear. Sometimes it's just for purely for colours and suits and everything, but some suits, like there for instance, boost bonus. So there's plenty of things to unlock, spend your money on constantly. And also you'll find EA sometimes, when they've got a big game coming out, they'll do a rare board. Like when Mass Effect 3 came out, they had some N7 board that came out. It was a limited time only thing, so it's a good little novelty really. There are actual levels for characters as well, so as you get higher you'll actually be able to buy better gear and everything. So this is yet another points race. But I don't know, I just think everything done in this game is absolutely brilliant. The sense of speed and everything is very good. Handling's very tight. Easy to pick up and play. The music fits very well. I think they've done a very good job. I could easily recommend this to anyone that's got any interest at all in this game. And I think they'd have a good time with it. So taking all that into consideration, I'd have to give this game a 9 out of 10. It's really good fun, it's really replayable. Mostly to the online component, which is still active even now a year on. So, thanks for watching people.